Keanu Reeves' Constantine just hit its 20th anniversary this month, and to mark the occasion, Warner Studios has officially confirmed the long-awaited sequel we've been hoping for, Constantine 2. Fans have been eagerly waiting for years, especially after its initial announcement. But when James Gunn took over DC Studios, many feared the project would be scrapped. Now, director Francis Lawrence has finally moved closer to making it a reality, alongside Keanu Reeves. Lawrence revealed that the studio has officially given the green light for the sequel. The news was shared during an episode of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, where Reeves was also a guest. The director explained that, after years of development hell, the team has finally secured approval to move forward. And now, we've learned another major detail. Reeves confirmed in an interview with Inverse that the sequel will take place in the same world as the original. This means Constantine 2 is a direct continuation of the first film, rather than a reboot or reimagining within the new DCU. This also suggests that Constantine 2 won't be part of James Gunn's main DC universe. Instead, it's likely to be categorized under DC's Elseworlds label, a separate branch created for films and series that exist outside the primary continuity. If true, this could explain why the sequel has taken so long to get off the ground. But honestly, this is probably the best route for Constantine. The character's roots lie in DC's darker, more mature Vertigo imprint, and keeping him separate from the larger superhero narrative allows for more creative freedom. Elseworlds gives directors room to experiment, meaning Constantine 2 could lean even further into horror, supernatural themes, and complex moral dilemmas, without worrying about fitting into a larger cinematic puzzle. Francis Lawrence also confirmed that Akiva Goldsman, who wrote the first film, has returned to write the script. However, the story itself is a collaborative effort between Goldsman, Reeves, and Lawrence. While plot details are still tightly under wraps, the first movie gives us some clues about where things might go next. The original Constantine ended with John making a selfless sacrifice, offering his soul to save Angela. Instead of claiming him, Lucifer resurrected him, unwilling to let him off so easily. The sequel could build on this, with John trying to maintain his redemption while still walking the fine line between the mortal and supernatural worlds. There are also hints that Lucifer himself will play a much bigger role this time around. Reports suggest that Francis Lawrence wants to expand on the character, giving him a deeper, more complex arc, and that makes Peter Stormare's return almost inevitable. His take on the Prince of Darkness was one of the best parts of the original film. The director has also teased that the studio was very impressed with the new ideas the team has come up with. This raises an exciting question. Will Constantine 2 finally embrace an R rating? The first film was initially intended to be rated R, but Warner Brothers ultimately went with a PG-13 cut. Given how much the industry has changed and the success of other R-rated comic book films like Joker and Logan, this could be the perfect opportunity to deliver the darker, more brutal Constantine movie fans have been waiting for. Keanu Reeves has made it clear he's thrilled to return to the role. While no other casting details have been confirmed, there's strong speculation that Peter Stormare will be back as Lucifer. The actor himself revealed last year that he had been in talks for the sequel. Meanwhile, Tilda Swinton, who played Gabriel, gave a more cautious response when asked if she'd return, saying she hadn't been approached yet. Rachel Weisz's Angela is another possibility, but again, no official word has surfaced. Since the project has only just been officially greenlit, casting announcements will likely come later. But since this is a direct sequel, bringing back the original actors feels like a no-brainer. Production could also start sooner than expected. DC Studios already has a few release dates reserved for unannounced projects. 2 mystery films are scheduled for May 28th, 2026, and March 4th, 2027. Given that Constantine 2 hasn't begun filming yet, a 2026 release seems unlikely, especially with Francis Lawrence still working on the next Hunger Games. If anything, March 2027 could be a realistic target, which would put the sequel exactly 22 years after the original. A significant time jump is almost guaranteed, and honestly, it could work in the movie's favor. A more seasoned, world-weary John, similar to the grizzled hero in Logan, could add even more depth to the story. The sequel also has the chance to be more comic accurate. The first film didn't adapt any specific storyline, but instead pulled from various arcs while making its own changes. This time around, the filmmakers could incorporate even more elements from Hellblazer, bringing in classic characters and arcs while still staying true to the film's unique tone. Of course, a bigger, more comic-inspired movie would require a larger budget, but with Keanu Reeves leading the charge, Constantine 2 already has the potential to be a box office hit. And let's not forget how the first movie blended supernatural horror with a gritty, grounded aesthetic. If the sequel follows that same path while pushing even further into horror's territory, we could be looking at something truly special. Stay tuned.